Okay, so I'm gonna do a video today just to show you guys, walk you guys through the books that I'm hoping to get through before the end of 2020. I'm gonna go sit outside. I'm gonna grab a coffee or a beer. I haven't quite decided yet what I'm in the mood for. Grab a beverage, and then I'm gonna sit outside and I'm gonna walk you guys through the books that I'm thinking that I need to read. So I bought a bunch of new books, but then like a couple of days ago I just decided, you know what, the best use of my time is for me to try and clear a little bit more of my backlist. So I'm putting all my new releases to the side, and I'm spending the last 10-11 days of 2020, actually it is like 9 or 10 days, trying to finish a couple of books that have been sitting on my shelf and seeing how many of them I can get through. So I'm going to walk you guys through. I think there's about 10-11 of them that I have on deck that I am working my way through. Right now there are 6 on my bedside table that I'm reading simultaneously. So let me just go grab my beverage and then we'll sit outside and then we'll chat about which books I think I want to get through before the end of the year. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Hi guys, we're outside now. I just needed some fresh air. Also, like, it's really hot and I've been indoors like for the past bajillion hours, so I just need some time to just like decompress and just like get some fresh air. Welcome back to the Pretty Bookish channel. This video is really random, so I just wanted to come on and basically do, it's almost like a revised possibility pile, but the video is actually books that I want to finish before the end of 2020. I already did a possibility pile and I told you guys what books I wanted to read, what I was interested in reading this month, and like all the books that I came, some of them were like new releases, right? So then like a couple of days ago I just realized and I decided in my head, like, I actually want to spend the last 10-11 days of 2020 finishing as much of my backlist as possible, because I actually don't want to read my new releases. I want to spend some time reading books that have been on my shelf since like January, because I actually do not want, there's some of these books that I do not want to, I just feel bad carting them all the way into 2021 when some of them I've had them since 2019, and I just feel like I have time now, let me just sit and read them instead of like jumping into like the brand new releases and then having these books sit on my shelf until like 2025. Okay, so I'm just going to walk you guys through a couple of books. It's not that many. Actually, it is like kind of that many. It's like 10. But like these are the books that I genuinely like just want to get through. Oh, by the way, I ended up going with a beer. Copperberg. Guys, this pear flavored Copperberg is so good. All the Copperberg flavors are so good. There's a strawberry and lime one that I had for the first time in Ireland, I think. And it was like, oh, it was so good. Okay. So let me just like walk you guys through. Okay, so first of all, on the side of my bed right now, it's like a mess. I'm going to show you guys like what's actually on my bedside table, i.e. what is actually has been started. So like some of these books I'm like halfway, some of them I've like started reading already, others I haven't. So these are, wow, now that I'm looking at them, this looks mad. Like this is what I took off my bedside table. These are the books that I am currently reading that I've already started, and these are all more or less books that I actually need to, either I was gifted them by the publisher and I really want to finish them this year. I don't like carrying book mail into the next year. Others have been on my bookshelf for like eons and I actually just want to get through them. So this is what we're going to do. I'm just show you guys what they are. Okay, so the first book that I actually want to get through, I think this is on my possibility pile, is Noir by Nikum Songo. Edited collection of short stories. I've read like 3 of the stories. I loved one. I didn't like the other 2, so we keep moving. I don't know. This is the thing with short story anthologies, collections, is that like it's very hit or miss for me. Like it's very rare that I love every story. I think that only ever happens for me if the same writer writes all of them. But these, it's like multiple writers. I think there's like, how many of them are there? I think there's like 20 short stories by different South African writers, all centered around Joburg. So I don't know. I've started. I'm definitely hoping to finish this. This is one of those things where I might end up DNFing it. I don't think so though, but we'll see. But anyway, this, I really want to finish this year. The other one that I started already is Men Who Hate Women by Laura Bates. Is insane. This book is insane. Like, I finished the chapter on incels and also the chapter on pickup artists, and like my skin is crawling and I wanted to barf the entire time, and honestly, Jesus must just come back and fetch us, because like his kids like we literally are not making it at this humanity thing, because like also men are the bottom. Like it was just it's like, but this one I definitely want to finish. It's the last nonfiction I think I'm going to read of 2020, and I really want to get through this. I'm on page 100. There's 300 pages, 350, so hoping to get through that as well. Then there's The Colors That Blind by Rutendo Tavengaroe that I've already started. I think I'm on like chapter 2, so I've barely started. This is YA, and I just really want to read this book this year, because I actually do want to review this book this year. I don't want to drag it into next year. It's one of those YA books that I didn't see much on Bookstagram, but the writer I've read before, she's really good, and also the subject matter, or the MC, is like a main character who has albinism, is such a story that's underrepresented and not talked about enough. So I really want to have a chance to read and review this, just so that I can, like, hopefully I love it. If I hate it, I don't know if I'll give this book a bad review. Nah. Yeah, I already took the photo, so I'll probably review it either way. But this is another one that I really want to get through. The other one that I also started was Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, because everybody's obsessed with this book, and I think I'm on page 70. There's so many of these books. I'm on like page 100 or 70 or 60. Like, I don't know how I'm doing this, but like page 70. This one is YA. It's relatively quick, because I think I started it like last night. This will probably be finished by the end of the week. But so far so good. I'm liking it. I'm not obsessed yet, but then again, I'm only on page 60, so we'll see how this goes. But I definitely want to finish this one as well. The other one that I actually started is The Gods of Jade and Shadows. I downloaded the audiobook for this, so I'm switching between audio and reading the actual book, and that's working for me really well. I have a couple of like home projects. It's December, guys. You know how it be. Spring cleaning, like purging type thing. So I've been listening to the audiobook since yesterday and today. So I'm hoping to be able to get through this week. I'm on page 100. Actually didn't realize I was so far, because I'm listening to the audio. I'm on page 100. It's a 350 page book. Tonight I'm dedicating myself to finishing another 2 or 3 chapters, another hour and a half of the audio, because I have, while I make dinner and do other stuff. So this is what I'm focusing on audio. So Gods of Jade and Shadow, I'm actually liking it so far. It's an interesting, it's a mythology and a history and a cultural history, especially of like Latin America, that I'm not that familiar with. So the gods of like the Mayan gods and all that stuff, I'm not really that familiar. So I'm finding it really interesting. Not sure so much where it's going. I'm not 100% sure where this book is going. I think I'm not sure if this is a love YA, if there's a love angle. If there is, between the two main characters, it's very confusing, but nonetheless, we move. So far, so good. Gods of Jade and Shadow. We're moving with that. Then also, I started on audio. Paul Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl. I was so happy when I found this on Scribd, because this is one of those books that's been on my shelf since 2019, and I have been struggling with starting. Like, my brain has not, I think I tried to read 1 or 2 pages, 3, 4, 5 pages, and I just couldn't get into it. And then when I started listening to the audiobook, I think yesterday morning, I listened to a chapter or 2, I realized this is one of those books that is definitely better on audio. It needs someone to tell you the story, and I need to be able to picture or embody the kind of main character's voice, so Paul's voice. So this is another one that I am hoping to finish. I think this and this, because I'm listening to them on audio, and I have about 11 days to finish both of them on audio, I definitely think I'll finish these 2. So I'm glad this is relatively new on my shelf, in the sense that I think I got it like I think I got this in like September, but the thing is that I've wanted this book since it came out, and then this one I've had on my shelf for like a year or over a year. So I'm really, these 2 definitely want to get through this year still. What else are we talking about? Okay, then also we have The Vanishing Half, which I have started. I think I'm on like page 4. So I haven't really started. But this is another one that, it was a Bookstagram fave of 2020, and I just need to know if it was worth the hype. So I actually do not want to drag this book into 2021 with me. So I definitely want to read this book this year. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to schedule for actual Christmas Day, because I think I'm going to do a readathon. I'm also going to do a New Year's readathon, so I'm not sure if I'll keep one of these for those, but like this, definitely it needs to get done. Like, I can't drag this anymore. The other book is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. So I was going through my shelf and I was just like, oh my God, this is one of the last, I think this is the last Leigh Bardugo that I haven't read. I've read the whole King of Shadows series. I've read the Crooked Kingdom and Six of Crows series. I read Ninth House already. This is the last one that I don't have. I know the sequel to this is coming out next year. So and the series is also coming out next year. So I don't want to drag the series into 2021. So I think this is one of those that I'm going to try out of all of these to prioritize, because I want to be able to say I'm up to date on Leigh Bardugo's books. And this is the last full-length novel. I know there's another book that she has, but like I wasn't really that interested in it, but this one definitely want to get through. The other two actually that I saw on my shelf that I was like, yes, I need to read these finally, is Binti Home and The Night Masquerades, the Binti series, book 2 and 3 of the Binti series by Nnedi Okorafor. I read book 1, I want to say last year in 2019, and then I bought these two and I still haven't read them, and I was going through my shelf and I saw them and I was like, they're not that long. I would like to be able to say I've finished the Binti series, you know what I mean? I think I have Lagoon by Nnedi Okorafor as well. I just couldn't find it. I also would love to get through that. Nnedi Okorafor is another writer whose body of work I'd love to be able to finish relatively soon, but these two as well probably will take me a weekend just to sit down and actually read these through. But I probably have to reread Binti because I can't 100% remember what happened in that book. Yeah. Then the two new releases that I actually want to prioritize above and beyond all of those, the ones that I actually want to get through as well, is A Family Affair by Sue Nyati and First Woman by Jennifer Nansubuga Makumbi. I got gifted this book and it's my first Sue Nyati book, and I would actually love to be able to say both of these I got sent by the publishers, and I'd love to be able to finish them this year because I just don't want to drag so much book mail into the next year. I have quite a few books that I'm not going to be able to read this year, but if I could at least, I think the one that I'd prioritize the most between these two is A Family Affair, because everybody, South African Bookstagram, loved this book. Everybody has read it, and I think I'm like the last person who hasn't read it, and I want to be able to chime in on the Sue Nyati conversation, but I can't because I've never read any of her books. So this is the last one as well. This is the other one. I think First Woman, because I started, I think on like page 15, so barely started. I think also though, as much as I would love to read this year, this would be a really good first book of 2021, January 2021 pick. Do you know what I mean? Like I think this would be a good book to try and read next year, beginning of next year, but we'll see. I'm going to try and prioritize some of the ones that I've spoken about before, like King of Scars, God of Jade and Shadow, and what's the other one that I also wanted, like Nick Mhlongo's book. Some of these I just want to get off my shelf because I just don't want to drag them on for much longer. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm excited to read all of them, but I just feel like I want to clear my shelf, because you know, I can tell which books have been on my shelf the longest. And like when you see a book on your shelf for 1 month, and then 3 months, and then 5 months, and then 7 months, and then 9 months, 12 months, then it's a year, then it's a year and a half, like it starts to give me like anxiety. Like I just start to really like freak out about that book. So I want to clear some of these off my shelf ASAP. Right, so that's the end of the video. Basically, I just wanted to show you guys the books that I hope to finish before the end of 2020. Those are the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 books that I plan to finish before the end of 2020. I would be so happy if I managed to finish them. I would literally pat myself so much in the back. If I could at least get through, let's say 8 of these 12, that would be a huge accomplishment. I will get back to you guys in another video to tell you if I actually managed to get through all of these. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? Comment below, like this video, comment below and let me know if you've read any of these, what you think of them. Yeah, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram on @prettyxbookish, and come chat to me in my DMs. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for watching this video.